got head coach Hank Plona ahead of the exhibition against UAB on Wednesday. Coach will open it up with a statement, and we'll jump into questions.
Appreciate all of you being here. Obviously trying to build on last Wednesday's exhibition game as we prepare to go for a real, kind of a real fake test this Wednesday at UAB. So obviously we kind of wrapped up Kentucky Wesleyan Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and here today, tomorrow, into Wednesday, trying to do all we can to prepare. We'll treat this one, as far as preparation goes, as far as approaching it, they've played one exhibition game as well. So a little bit of information on UAB. Obviously, we'll stay more focused on ourselves, but obviously we'll do everything we can, like a test run for a road game here this week, and hopefully feel good about how we play on Wednesday.
Coach, what's the difference between the first exhibition game and the second exhibition in terms of what you're looking for, what you'd like to see?
I think you have a little, just more understanding of how guys will play together and perform. So, I think the more you play, the better feel and instinct and, just feel for the moment you have. But obviously, I think Kentucky Wesleyan had practiced for about 8 days. UAB's been at it for about 5 months, just like we have been. They have a kind of a brand new team for the most part, so I think they're figuring out some things too. I think both teams probably going into here, exhibition game 2 will be more focused on themselves than the opponent, but just the situation, the environment, the type of opponent that will play, you definitely know it'll be a challenge, and we just have a little bit more information probably to be able to predict how we'll respond and how we'll play in those type of moments.
Right, just looking at the box score from last year's exhibition, I think you guys returned 10 points from that game. Then I looked at UAB and they didn't have a single player that played that game on the roster. Is this just typical of college basketball, or this mid-major, whatever you want to call it, that you're going to see that kind of roster turnover? Are you guys special cases?
No, I don't think we're very special cases. I think in our league, Liberty was picked 1 and Kennesaw was picked 2 because they're the only teams that have anybody coming back, and 3 through 12 is all brand new. So in our league, 10 of the 12 teams are basically brand new teams, and I guess you could say mid-major college basketball, but I think it's any level. The only way that it can be hard to retain. We're just in a world where the next thing. Florida won the national championship and they had a player go to Kentucky. So I don't. It's just there's probably no. I don't. There's no better situation to explain what's going on in the world than that, So I don't know. I think it's just if these young men are growing up in a world where the norm is you choose year by year where you're going to be, and right now there's unlimited free agency, and every player can choose where they want to be every single year. So that'll obviously, we still get evaluated by winning and losing. So it's if those are what the rules are, then we need to whether it's UAB or Western Kentucky or whatever it is, you need to make sure that you put together the current team that's excited to win at your place in that current year. So sometimes I think both of us last year had some guys come back and trying to capitalize on success. I don't know if they made the tournament, but they were awfully good 2 years ago, and they returned Yaxel Lindenborg, who's now considered about the best player in the country, and he chose to go somewhere else. So I don't know. I think the fluidity. If there's unlimited free agency every single year, this is what we're going to have. And you try to. Obviously, we've tried to recruit some local kids. We've tried to build, from the ground up. We've tried to kind of get some guys that we believe are more likely to maybe potentially stay a little bit longer. But I don't think you can fully control that, and all you can do is coach your team and try to have the best year possible. And if guys feel that the experience is in their best interest to be there, then hopefully they consider staying a little bit for the long haul.
When you look at your experience in JUCO, you kind of draw from that with the level of roster turnover, and also I know you have some assistants too that are former JUCO coaches at that level. Do you feel like your staff is able to deal with that at a better level than some other mid-major programs because of their experience?
I don't really compare how we're doing anything right now to how anybody else does it, but I do think that we're probably the part that is similar is just the comfort in having more new players than old players. Like, it's the same process from June until now building a team. The guys are a little bit older, but it's the same process of staying in the moment and rewarding certain things and emphasizing habits and more teaching guys how to play. And I don't know, and probably the biggest carryover, I guess, that I would probably say that I have just from that experience of having new teams is, like, I struggle when you guys ask me, like, what's your system or what's your style? It all depends on the players, you know? Like, this is my 10th team I've coached as a head coach, and I don't think that any of them are mirror images of one another. I think I've always thought when you try to do something like you did it before, you're going to fail. Like, I think the best teams are very in the moment trying to learn and figure out. So that's the similarity. The difference, to be honest with you, is that there's always, you know, in junior college, guys are trying to, you know, play 1 or 2 years, and then there's this you know, the goal at the end of the tunnel, which is going to play Division I or moving on, and there's a natural, you know, so you have sophomores that naturally move on, and freshmen know they're going to be back. So, like, you have guys, they either know they're coming back or they know they're moving on. That's the biggest difference. Is right now we have guys that are in theory out of eligibility, but I would tell you at this time last year we had guys that thought they were out of eligibility that 2 months later got eligibility. You know, at this time last year our seniors were seniors, and by January they weren't. So I would just tell you the uncertainty of the future, whether they can play in college, whether what the rules are going to be, whether, like, just there's this uncertainty, and that's very challenging, I think, for all coaches to coach and to mentor and to push and to build and to mold and to whatever other words you want to use to describe, while there's this massive uncertainty over what's next in their lives. You'd like to say, yep, you're coming back, and we're building towards this, or this is your final year and we're trying to help you become a pro. And we think we have some of that right now, but it's harder than ever to talk about the future with these guys, because you don't want them to think you're trying to control it, and the norm is just that they can do anything they want to every year.
Coach, these guys have been saying, you know, they were ready to face an opponent since June, so they've been playing each other. Is there a newfound kind of excitement now coming to practice since they finally got to face an opponent for the first time?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know if I would agree with that statement completely. I would tell you probably on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I was dealing more with the whole, we think we played well on Wednesday and we got over that, and we weren't letting them let up at all. So I would tell you the last couple of days have been a little bit more so. We can't take the foot off the gas just because we feel like we did a pretty good job on Wednesday night. I would expect today and tomorrow to have some newfound excitement going down to UAB. I think there will be some excitement for this game, but you know, we're trying to be consistent with what we do on a day-to-day basis. Whether it's Kentucky Wesleyan, UAB, or whoever's next for us. I think we have to control what we can control and make sure there's that excitement and that discipline and that, you know, that kind of desire to prepare and that desire to work and the desire to improve. We got to make sure we create that and maintain that every single day.
What was your thinking with the first line up there against Kentucky Wesleyan? How did you come up with that starting five?
8 days before the game, we did a red-white scrimmage, and I told the guys whoever won would start. So those 5 guys, Armello Boone and Kate Unseld, won, so I started the upperclassmen and brought the 2 freshmen first off the bench.
What about for UAB? Is there going to be another competition?
Not sure yet what we're doing for that. I would tell you, to piggyback on probably what I just said, I thought for the first time that group was a little complacent on Thursday and Friday. So they were assured that just because you start and win doesn't mean that remains forever. So I genuinely don't know. We're just trying to push the guys in any which way possible to continue to work and to improve and to get better and to stay hungry. I think there's 5 months to go in our season, and no matter how we are doing, we need to be better tomorrow than we are today.
I know that this is, again, this one doesn't count. But you do have the season opener coming up in less than a week. Do you play this one more like you would a regular season game, just to work on those particular rotations, or who you're going to use?
Yeah, we're going to probably play it similar to a regular season game. Now, I would tell you, I don't think, probably less than what you'd guess. We did the same thing on Wednesday, kind of that stretch late in the first half, you know, when we got it from 24-20 to 36-24. I mean, late in the first half, I played the guys I thought would pull ahead. You know, it was 24-20, and I decided with 6 minutes to go to play the guys I thought were playing well in that game. And then obviously we got off to a good start. So maybe the last 15 minutes was a little bit of a mix and match of people. But yeah, I think we would benefit from playing well. I don't think we would benefit from just playing it like a casual game and then not having success, I think that could hurt us. So, I mean, I guess the thing that I'm going to do is, like, I'm not going to predetermine who plays on this team. But I will play the guys that deserve to play and that are playing well, and that a combination of practice day to day, a combination of the last 5 months, and then also in the game itself. Like, playing time is I tell these guys all the time, playing time is trying to predict the future. If there's a tie game with 3 minutes to go, you're trying to predict based on the present and the past who's going to succeed in that near future. Like, that's what playing time is in basketball. Like, it's a guess, but it's a guess based on a lot of information that you build up over time and how guys react to situations. So I think as a coach, you have to reward successful and winning behavior. Like, if they know that everybody's going to play an even amount no matter what, then what's the motivation to do your best? If you're holding a standard of success and team success and impact on winning, I mean, Armelo Boone had 2 points the other night, but he's plus 26 in the box score. We were up 26 in the 20 minutes he played. We were up 13 in the 13 minutes he didn't play. And I would tell you that matches what's happened the last month. I mean, that's I'm not surprised, and he had 2 points. So, I think that you try to, as a coach, figure out who is causing success. Sometimes that's the fan stats or the regular stats, and sometimes that's looking at the game a little bit more in depth. But we need to continue to do that. If all of a sudden we're not playing the guys that are helping us be successful and the bar isn't helping us win, and that's what you got to do to get on the floor, then we're going to start having problems. So between now and then, and certainly during the game Wednesday night, I mean, I'll make the decisions. I'm going to try to continue to reward team success. If you're going to be a weak link on defense, you're coming out. If you're going to take selfish shots, you're coming out. So we'll set the bar pretty high, and we'll try to keep that going.
We asked you about a lot of individual guys after that exhibition. One I didn't get to was Blaze, who I thought, just from my view, was a lot more mobile in that game. He looks like he's just moving better this year.
He's moving better right now. He's had some ups and downs, but his knee, that same knee that's kind of bothered him a little bit last year, has been up and down. It's in a good place right now. He's been working tirelessly to treat that. I thought he was a big positive on Wednesday night. Kind of once that lead got to what it was, as a super senior, did I know what we have? We just didn't go back with him. But that was more just you're good. We don't need to try after sitting for 20 minutes. Loosen him back up. So I thought Blaze played very well. He's been competing every day. I mean, he's strong, physical, he's experienced, and I would agree his mobility is much improved from where it probably was January and February last year. So if he can continue to move and rebound and run the floor and guard ball screens, I mean, and he's going to be he's a very smart player. Blaze knows how to play. He knows exactly where he should be at all times. It's always just been physically being able to get himself to those positions. So yeah, I think he's been on a good stretch here, and knock on wood, hoping to keep Blaze healthy.
I guess just a quick update on Terry until you said you were going to see how he went through that first game.
Completely good to go. I've been 100% every single day since. I think just, maybe a little, I think technically maybe a little patellar tendonitis, which is a normal basketball thing. Nothing to do with his injuries or anything like that. So I think there's just some soreness after the game, but he's been living in the training room and he hasn't missed a run or a drill or anything since. And we expect him to be complete full minutes, ready to go on Wednesday night.